Hello. It's been a while since I've done a garden video, and because I've got a project today, I decided I'm going to do one. But first, I've got to give you, I don't know, I'm walking back this way. I'm going to do a garden tour for our spring garden before I tackle this project that I'm doing today. And so let's go. Here are roses. It's late spring in Phoenix, so they're burning up. I need to deadhead a lot of these, but doing very well otherwise. It's just getting a little hot for roses, so at least one of them. I got my other ones are on the other side. We'll get there. Strawberries. Strawberries are doing really well. I've been pruning the snot out of them. You can't really tell because there's so many of them, but I've been training them so they're growing up and out, and I'm getting lots of berries, as you can see. You can come down here. Lots of berries. I got some on the other side too. Lots of berries this year. Here's our sweet corn. We're doing sweet corn for the fall. When did I say fall? For the spring. I got sweet corn way tall. This is actually our second batch. As you can see, a big empty spot here is from the first sweet corn lot that we did, and I've got all of that. Only got maybe a dozen ears or so, I think. I'm losing count. Out of that one, I've only got a few here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see this one, if you can get to it. This one here, this obviously didn't pollinate. See how it's still green versus these where the tassels turned, or the silks turned brown. You can tell that's when they pollinated. They pollinated, you get corn in here. Unpollinated, you are left with a big dud kernel in here, and I bet if I open this up right now it'd be all just bleh. Because by the time all that pollen came out of there, this kind of sprouted late, so I got a big dud ear, and there was no pollen left for it to get pollinated, so it's a big dud ear, which sucks, but it happens. So I've got, what's that, 4 or 5 ears there. Probably need to pick these in the next few days. Down here, got a bunch of dill. You can't really tell it's dill right now, but all these little spriggles, sprouts, and things are, minus this because it's grass, screw the grass, are dill. And that, and right here in the middle, you can't see it yet because I haven't sprouted, is my third attempt at cucumbers. Because somebody likes eating my cucumbers and keeps ripping them down. That's why I've got these little trellis pieces here to try and keep her from eating my cucumbers. The dill that's in there, that seems all random, is from here. Technically not from here. There used to be, last season, I had great big, probably 3 big dill plants right here. They're probably like yay high. They went crazy. I let them go all the way to seed, and then I harvested all the seeds, and now I've got a ton of dill seed and dried dill in the house. But in the process of collecting all the seed from the flower heads and the seed heads of dill, it just kind of went everywhere, and so I just let it spread all over this bed, and so this whole bed is full of dill now. But it also spread over here into the cucumbers and corn, and it also spread over here into the watermelons. You see this whole big watermelon patch here, but if you look down here, all this dill down in here, all over the place. Got dill everywhere, down on the ground, all the way, and just all this dill in here, and grass, stupid grass, stupid grass, get the grass out. Grass is gonna choke everything. Oh, now my hands smell dilly just trying to pull that. You see this nice big watermelon right here. Don't know how big this is supposed to be, but we'll come back to the watermelons in a bit. And we go back over towards the other, again, I told you, it's summertime. We're facing triple digits. The roses are burning up. It's just part of the season. In the spring they do well, in the fall they do well. They're really pretty. Again, Instagram. I post lots of pictures of the garden and flowers and stuff. Notice those fences again? Because somebody likes to jump into beds. This was somewhere in the vicinity of 3 dozen carrots. I realize it's entirely overplanted. I don't thin my carrots. Sue me. But now I've got like 3 or 4 carrots because she'd jump up and pounce all over the bed. And oh, let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, like 4 carrots here. I don't know if that's gonna, oh, that's part of that one. And then this is pretty fresh. I don't know if that's going to happen. These are brand new. So I don't know. Those might sprout. I don't know. I'm considering putting more and planting more carrots in there just because I want carrots. Because every time I've done carrots, they've done really well. But here, right next to it, is the big thing this year, our big experiment this year. Do you know what this is? Do you recognize this? This tall grassy stuff with these things on it? Do you know what that is? It's wheat. That's right. We're growing wheat. And I know this is not a lot of wheat. It really isn't. In the grand scheme of after this is all grown up and dried and harvested and shucked and all of the processing it takes to get wheat out of wheat, I might be able to make a batch of cookies or maybe one big cookie. But it's like, I realistically, I'll be surprised if I have 2 cups of flour out of this after it's all processed down and dried and ground and I throw it through my mill and I have flour. I'll probably have a cup or 2 of flour if I successfully process this wheat. I have no clue what I'm going to do. I've got to learn how to do it. But it's so cool that we're growing wheat. It's just nifty. You can see some of these are starting to dry out a little bit. I have to wait for, just kind of like the popcorn, I have to wait for all of this to dry out completely. Like then harvest, like cut it all down. I've got to, it's a whole big process. I've still got a bunch of videos I got to watch to figure out exactly how I'm going to do that. So, project time. Said I was going to come back to the watermelons. So, as you can see, got all this dill down here. As we're going through, what don't you see in the watermelons? Watermelons. Just this one. I only had 4, and all of the other ones have since kind of departed for various reasons. And we have made the decision that we are going to just give up on watermelons. We've tried growing them for years now, and we just can't seem to successfully grow watermelons. And with as much space as this takes up in the garden, to only have 1 watermelon coming out of it, it's not worth it. It's just, you know, sucking nutrients and eating up garden space that I could use for something else. So we've decided we're going to rip out the watermelons. So I'm going to get my clippers here, open these up, which it is difficult to do that one-handed on camera. Yeah. I'd get a tripod, but I don't record enough video to necessitate it. Flippy flippy. Come down here, get in here, and I'll snip it up high. And snip. Again, close them, because safety first. Never mind that they're in my back pocket and could totally stab me in the ass. We're going to take this watermelon out. We'll look at it later. Then we're going to take the clippers again. And I'm going to open them again. And I'm going to open them back up. And we're going to look around down here. Because you see, all of this is one plant. It is just one huge watermelon plant that has sprawled all over. So I've got to find where the original... There it is. So this is the base of said watermelon plant that, again, this grew from 1 seed. Watermelon just, you know, the amount of... I'm killing dill. Sorry. All of this came off of 1 seed. And so now what I have to do is take my clippers, go down here, I got the main stem right here, get around there and snip it. And snip that off, close up my clippers again. And really, I just have to let this die. Inside of 2 days, all of this will dry up, shrivel up because it won't receive any more water. You see the sprinkler head that feeds it right there, which I should have been looking for that. Say, hey, where's the sprinkler that feeds the watermelons? And water, and I followed that. Let me get all this grass out of here. But what I'm gonna do, let's see if I can pull this stump out. Whoa. Let's see if I can get that. Hey, I'm gonna pull the stump out because I don't really need it. There we go. Now I know it's good as dead. Okay, I've got enough dill. I lost all this right here, but all that right there is gonna take out. I'm gonna keep the water on because I want to continue feeding the dill that's over here for now. But what our goal is actually to plant pumpkins in this bed instead, because we have failed at pumpkins as well, but we like pumpkins. So I'm going to start pulling some of this down, because in our time growing watermelons, our lots of failed attempts at watermelons, we have learned that they need a lot of water, but they need water at particular times, and they're kind of finicky, and we've grown where we've had watermelons grow, but we haven't been able to actually get any decent harvest out of them. The handful of ones that we've had were bland and flavorless, or they've just blown up because they had too much water. And it's just getting to a point where too much particular work for our garden to try and grow watermelons. Let's see, I think I might have actually had another watermelon bloom here in this little, yeah, you can see right there, maybe you can see it, but it didn't pollinate. So I probably had another half dozen watermelon blooms on this that I've been unable to get anything out of, and it's not worth the effort at this point to grow watermelons. But the only thing that's killed our pumpkins in the past has been like the monsoon storms will come through and flood them or something. And so the goal now, rip all this out, plant pumpkins, because in theory we have better odds with pumpkins. Okay, because my camera overheated, I have now ripped all those pumpkin vines down, or watermelon vines down, and I'm going to be really lazy, and I'm just going to go ahead and plant these straight on top of the bed right here. I normally would turn this whole thing and fertilize it, but right now I'm just feeling lazy. So this line here is about center mass. I'm just going to take and make a nice little hole here. There's a stick or something in there. Drop my little pumpkin seed. Should have two. One. And dropped it. Two. Just drop my little pumpkin seeds in there. Cover that up. And that's it. I'll be super lazy about this because this bed has been fertilized and it's growing, and I just honestly, because if I turned it, I'd lose all of this dill. And I don't want to lose all this dill. It's doing pretty well on its own in here. So all this dill will feed these pumpkins that'll sprawl out all up in all the places up here. And hopefully I'll get up and show you a video of progress or something. But you should follow me on Instagram to get all that stuff. Yeah. So until I decide to actually do another video, bye.